Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, we've landed on D.Va. D.Va, that's who we landed on. Why did you expect it to be someone else? When they were announcing D.Va, they did this trailer where like there were some giant claw marks on a door at Hanamura in Overwatch, and for some reason everyone thought that reveal trailer was gonna be Deathwing. I was never on board with that. We actually made a video like debunking everything about that. But turns out that new character was D.Va, and to kind of, I don't know if you want to say make fun of that situation or immortalize that situation, we do have a new skin now where D.Va has a Deathwing skin, which I just think is perfect. I think it's real good. Now that being said, D.Va's not changed much since her release. She was a little overtuned. They nerfed, her damage output and some other things. Her mobility was kind of high in some circumstances, and they kind of removed that a little bit. Since then, she hasn't changed much at all, but oh my god, she has had so many bugs that I think she holds the record. I think she actually beats Shen for the number of bugs since her release, and she's only been in the game for a few months. That being said, she is an interesting character, even though I don't play her a lot. I've done 3 warm-up games and lost all of them, so clearly this is gonna be great.
I play to win.
I play to try hard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the Garden Tower map today. We gotta click on boxes. I guess there is another bug with D.Va where you never actually see your box score, which is pretty triggering to me personally. Don't like that one bit. Because you guys know I go hard on this. I go hard on the box game. Wait a minute, it's almost 9 o'clock. We're recording in the morning, team. We're recording in the morning. I gotta turn my alarm off. It's about to go off.
4, 3, 2.
I didn't think about that until just now. I don't need my alarm going off in the middle of this video. All right, boys, we're back. At level 1, we are going to go for Hit the Nitrous. This gives us a 325% movement speed increase whenever we use our Q ability while we are in the mech. D.Va kind of introduced, well, maybe not introduced, but D.Va is based around the idea of having 2 different game states at any given time. When she is in the mech, she's a very durable but slow character. Damage output is pretty much non-existent, but she is able to push people around quite literally in the sense that she can use her thrusters to get in, knock someone out of position, and hopefully your team can capitalize on that player being out of position. Can we talk about my Skinergy real quick though? Can we just talk about this? Oh my goodness. I still got it, boys. I still got it. When she is in pilot form like I am right now, her mobility is completely out the window unless you take up a specific talent later in the game, and I mean way later in the game. We okay? Nope. Wow, can't believe I'm putting this out on the internet. Can't believe I'm putting, okay. All right. So, whew. Oh. Don't leave. I'm better than that. I'm better than that. All right. So, we do have extremely slow travel speeds across the map. There is a talent at level 1 that kind of helps with this, but this was nerfed. I think your boosters used to just come off cooldown if you didn't deal any damage in combat with Rushdown. Now it's 5 seconds off. So you still have like a 4-second window where you're still very slow trying to make your way across the map. We can use our thrusters, again, without that talent, but it does have a 9-second cooldown. So getting around is actually, I think, it's extremely tedious on D.Va. Like, my least favorite part about her. Like, in this situation, if I wanted to rejoin that fight, we'd be looking at like 10 seconds of me walking around this wall in order to get over there. To me, that's the biggest downside to playing her and the biggest deterrent for me like actually investing time in this character. That being said, over the course of my practice games, I have learned a thing or two about a thing or two, and her playstyle is really, really fun. As I mentioned, she has 2 different game states, which allows you to kind of control how you want to approach the battlefield at any given time. You'll notice that we've been filling up energy while we're in the mech, and with this energy, we can actually use self-destruct, which is our E ability. Self-destruct, when your friendly team knocks back too much and they saved him. Oh. Self-destruct actually allows us to jettison out of the mech and use the mech as a, like, zoning tool to keep the enemy team away from anything you might be doing. We are going to go for Bring It On level 4, which is going to allow us to fuel up the self-destruct a little bit more often. You gain energy by taking damage while you're in the mech, or every 2 seconds that you're auto-attacking is also going to generate some energy for the mech to use for self-destruct. So it does take a while to build up, but the idea is that this acts as your way of getting your mech back quickly. So if you use self-destruct prior to your mech dying, and I mean you want to wait until it's at basically no health, but if you use self-destruct right as it's about to die, then all of a sudden you can jump back in your mech after self-destruct is done. So for instance this, you notice we're regenerating our energy very, very quickly. We have another mech ready to go, and we can jump right back in, which is a pretty cool mechanic. I like it a lot. It allows you to basically get a free health bar. And if you wanted to just deal more damage in a team fight, all of a sudden, because you're out of your mech, you're in a position of being able to, like, completely turn the tide of battle with your pilot DPS, where you couldn't really do that before because you were kind of stuck in that mech. So I like the fact that it isn't just the enemy team has to kill you in order to activate this phase. I like that D.Va has control over when she enters and exits certain game states, and that's kind of the way I think about it. She has 2 different game states. This is our very high DPS but low durability, low mobility, and our other state is very low DPS but high durability, high mobility. Now, when we are out of the mech, we have a 4 attacks a second attack speed. So you'll see we're hitting for 72, 4 times a second. That's crazy high sustained DPS over here. We are going to go for coming through at level 7. The only characters that have higher DPS, or higher attacks per second, I believe, are Tracer and Tassadar. Just to give you some perspective, she is tied with Tychus for attack speed here in this pilot form. So you can play the risk versus reward game and just sit over here and pilot for quite some time. I'm soaking XP right now because this is doing work. We don't need to help it. It should be fine. But we can just hang out in pilot form, shove this lane a little bit, get it pushing into the tower, and our single target DPS versus the tower should burn it down relatively quickly. And as we continue to auto attack in this form, we are once again gaining energy to call in our mech here as well. So there's a nice yin and yang, a nice synergy between her 2 different game states, and I like it quite a bit. If our mech does die, it counts as half a player kill, so the enemy team gets half the normal XP that they would get for killing a player. If D.Va dies, I believe that's a full kill, but I'm not 100% on that. Not 100% on that. I should know that by now. I've done enough warm-up games, so excuse my ignorance in that department. At level 10, we are going to go for Big Shot, and this is where Pilot Form's DPS kind of comes online. And this is the go-to heroic ability here because it allows you to sit back in Pilot Form, not rely on your mech at all. It improves your wave clear, which is one of the most underrated things in this game, by the way. I used to focus on lane clear a lot more. People used to give me a lot of shit about it. Pallytime, you're thinking about minions way too much. Map controls, this game is amazing, okay? You don't understand. But it allows her to sit way far back, and it's a great way of just generating energy to get a mech form back up again. At level 20, we are going to get an upgrade for this that allows it to shoot 3 times, which is basically a free mech every time we fire our ult off if we're able to connect with enemy players. So it's a great utility for pilot form, adds a ton of survivability for pilot form, but also just increases your overall DPS in pilot form as well. It's just an upgrade in just about every sense of the word. Now, I think we're chilling. We'll try to body block him so Rainer can keep up. Of course, Rainer missed his Q, but that's all right. That's all right. We got him. We can use our defense matrix now to lower the damage of this Nazebo copy to hopefully get our Gem Rainer out of trouble, and I think we did just that. Now that's a part of the gameplay that I don't quite understand when I should be doing which part here. Like, should I be focusing on doing minute amounts of DPS while I'm in the pilot form? Should I? Why can I always just hear the trank dart? Who thought that was a good idea? I'm in the base. She's in bottom lane. Why do I need to hear the fact that she's shooting out? Anyway, I haven't quite figured out when I should be trying to limit the amount of damage that the enemy team could deal with this defense matrix because it only works on a certain part of the ground, or when I should just be trying to go like full offensive, deal as much damage as possible, that kind of thing. I am going to push Ana back into that laser there. Our talent that we picked up at level 7 does give us a larger knockback with coming through, so we can reposition people quite well. And then our level 1 talent for Hit the Nitrous allows us to boost in extremely quickly into situations like that, with the intent of repositioning people. So not only do we deal bonus damage with Hit the Nitrous, but we also have this incentive to control the flow of battle a little bit more, which I think is really, really neat. She has a fun kid, don't get me wrong. I don't know. There's just something keeping me from falling in love here. Here, let's get out of that. We are gonna go for emergency shielding here at level 13. Now, instead of losing our mech, we will get a small shield, which gives us a little bit more time for a detonation. So if we are getting low on health like we are right now, we'll go ahead, throw that explosion out. We were about to get hit by the Ragnaros ult, so I didn't want to lose the mech there. Now we're chilling in pilot form. We can DPS this thing down a little bit faster. So some of the bugs the D.Va's gone through, they are extensive. For instance, when I was doing my practice games before I went out of town this week, I ran into one that was literally just hotfixed. If you boosted towards a tower, you could get stuck in a tower. Like, literally have your character just stuck in a tower. I couldn't move. I couldn't shoot anything. I was stuck in a building until the Punisher came in the lane, stunned me, and for some reason that pushed me out. Like, that bug was in the game, like, this week. Then, there was some bugs associated with Chromie's time stop that we already talked about a little bit, where if someone was trapped in the time trap of Chromie, you could reposition them with the knockback. So you could, like, stasis someone and then move them way more out of position than they should have been. There were some issues where, whoa, we just gonna give this up? I think someone's getting it. I hope someone's getting it. There were some issues where, like, Karazim wouldn't... No, that was Chromie. That was a Chromie bug. There were some issues with Karazim where he would just focus the mech when he was doing 7-sided strike, so it was like he just wasted his whole ultimate. That doesn't happen anymore, by the way. But the mech itself, while it is doing the self-destruct, does count as a hero. So you can do things like devour it with stitches. If the enemy team has D.Va and you see that mech coming towards you, you could devour it with stitches, put it in your belly, and cut off on that damage. You could, theoretically, if you wanted to, use Cocoon on a Nubarak to take it out of the fight as well. But in most situations, it is better to just kind of walk away from the self-destruct. There's not too many situations where that thing is going to catch you and deal a ton of damage. However, D.Va does have a tool to kind of help her chances of landing a really good self-destruct that I haven't done yet, and that is a combination of using her boosters as... See, I feel like I should be mitigating damage here to give her more of a chance of living, but I made that decision too late, I feel like. She can use her boosters in conjunction with the self-destruct, which allows her to, like, it's an art form, right? But you can pinpoint the spot you want your self-destruct to go, which is real hard. We're gonna go for GG well played, takedowns, refresh our mech so we can get it back a little bit faster. And I'll just try to deal as much damage as I can to this gazebo really quick, and then start to back it up a little bit. Again, every time we land our ult, which is super easy to land, look how much energy we get. I love being able to control when we can get our mech back. Like, if you don't go for this big shot, you just kind of sit around and hope that something happens. Now, I don't think Bunny Hop is a bad heroic ability by any means. Getting in there, doing a massive slow, becoming unstoppable in the middle of a team fight can be a really big deal. The problem is, it doesn't give you as much control over D.Va's kit as Big Shot does. So in most situations, Bunny Hop isn't going to be considered by most players. We might be able to get a kill on Garrosh here. He is going to be taken down. Artanis with a great swap is going to line me up for 2 shots of Big Shot there. We'll focus down this Ana, take her out of the fight. Now once again chasing after Ragnaros. Great wall from Tassadar is going to be pretty easy kill. Now, we can go back in pilot form here and use our mount to get around the map a little bit more. It's just that weird travel time while you're in the mech. I just can't, I don't know, I can't get over it. It's real strange. Let's try to bait this guy a little bit. And by bait, I just mean chase after him and look like I'm about to die. All right, bud, I'm coming in. Come on. Gonna take you down. Gonna take you to Pain Town. Oh, that wasn't a bad nuke. That wasn't a bad nuke at all. That wasn't bad at all. We have him in the corner. We got him at the gym raider. You're going down. You're going down. Oh, poor Jimmy. Poor Jimmy. But one of the best parts about D.Va is moments like that where you could, well, not watch Jim Raynor die. That's not one of the best parts of D.Va, but where you could go in and in situations where you normally die, right? But we have the presence of mind to like know how much energy we're gonna generate, and we can like base our cooldowns off of how we think that fight's gonna go. I just like that approach to the battlefield. It's pretty interesting. I'm just soaking some XP, try to get our team up to level 20. If it looks like we're in a little bit of a conflict, I will move down and help, but it looks like everything was gonna be okay. We do have a Garden Terror coming up in the base right now. I had a list of bugs written down, but then I restarted my PC and I lost that list. They were literally my only notes for this character. I know that since she's come out, she's never really seen competitive play that much. Again, when she was released, she was overtuned, so this dash forward to deal damage, we got more movement speed out of that, but it also dealt more damage, but the burst was a little bit too high, so they removed that a little bit. There was a pretty strong build that allowed you to kind of get Li Ming resets in a sense. Here we could body block Ana here, just moving through her like that, forcing her back in this other direction. I'm gonna try to reduce these guys' damage. Hopefully our Morales can get out of here in one piece, but it looks like she is gonna be taken down. We got a shield keeping us in the mech. I'm gonna go ahead and use self-destruct here, try to reposition, and then get back in a mech as soon as possible, or we'll just poke at this Abathur clone really quick. Try to take it down. Garrosh is by himself right. Oh, Ana! Ana's by herself right now. We'll get as many auto attacks as we can in there. Call in the mech right now and maybe even finish off this Garrosh. I want to move in for body blocks here so Artanis can catch back up. And that part of her gameplay too is fantastic. Like just her ability to move through heroes and then body block. You're basically just a giant health sponge here. So that's really fun too. Like I keep finding things in her kit that I really enjoy, but for some reason the playstyle just doesn't sink in. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't really know. Good swap again by Artanis. We're just going to auto attack as much as we can here. Good polymorph too. Is going to keep that Ragnaros from healing with his Q. And we are going to take him down. The plant now moving into the middle lane. Hitting the wall. Wait, why are we hitting the wall? We can just hit the keep. We chilling though. That's okay. That's okay. Now, there was a buff to vehicles like this recently in the game, so we can't reposition the Garden Terror whatsoever. We used to be able to nudge them around a little bit. You know, it wasn't super effective or anything, but we could at least influence the Punisher, or, you know, the Garden Terror, not the Punisher. We could at least influence the Garden Terror a little bit. That's gone. Can't do that anymore. So, I mean, if we're in our mech, it kind of seems like we're useless versus the Garden Terror. But I don't have an easy way of getting out of the mech right this second either. We're kind of stuck. That being said as well, their Garden Terror is pushing in towards our base, and by the time I got over there, I feel like he'd move already, so I hard to like try to get in a better position, but now that I did it, I don't know if this was the right play, and it takes so long to get back, and it looks like we're going to be able to do a little bit of DPS before he moves away. This guy deciding that he wants to incentivize this fort a lot. Isn't even gonna get, oh, Abathur! It's Abathur! It's oh, shit. Why did you do that? Let's lower damage here as Artanis is running in. Unfortunately, we were only able to hit Garrosh there. I'm going to go in hard on this Nazebo, try to cut off his escape. Garrosh is gonna plummet me back towards my team. But we are getting some heals from Morales, keeping our health high. So hopefully we can use our nuke to good avail. Look at that! That was a good one. That was a good one. We're just going to stand here and trade into Garrosh and feel totally fine about it. Now Gazebo is cut off by the... Okay, we didn't die. We didn't die. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. That is a full team wipe, ladies and gentlemen, and we can go in and win the game right now. Unfortunately, Artana's not getting any healing because Morales is dead. But I'm still going to try to move in and finish this off. Hopefully the team follows me. Do we have the same attack speed while we're in our mech? It looks like we do. Our attack speed is being slowed by the fort hitting us, but I think it's, oh, it's actually a little... Why did it go up to 4.6? Does... Oh, Jim Raynor. That's right. I forgot Jim Raynor does things. That's so weird. Now, again, I kind of wish I was in pilot form here, but I have no easy way of getting out of it, so we're just going to hope and pray that we have enough DPS to get this thing down. The Hyperion is being used. Tassadar is being focused down right this moment. I'm just going to put myself in a position to take damage here so I can use our self-destruct and try to reposition. We do fire off that triple shot to take down Ana. The core is getting pretty low here. Oh, don't stun me. Oh, goodness me. That was so close. Now, if you want to counter D.Va and her jumping in and jumping out of mech like I've been doing, the easiest thing to do is just stun her when she's getting low on health, because if she's stunned, she can't call the mech down, and it does get placed on like a half cooldown, so like a 4-second cooldown or something when you're trying to call the mech in. First of all, it's one of the most satisfying things to do versus a D.Va, knowing she's about to self-destruct, stunning her, and canceling that mech, or knowing she's about, and you know, canceling the bomb, or knowing she's about to get into the mech and stunning her so you get a free kill on D.Va. Like, that's one of the most satisfying things to do ever, but it's also one of the most infuriating things to have happen to you. Like, it feels so bad. I think she's just dead. Yeah, my bad, man. Okay. We'll sippy cup real fast. If they want to dive me, they can. We'll go ahead and nuke that. Look at that, landing one ult on him. Give me all the energy we would need to get back into the mech. Now, granted, we also just self-destructed, so we would get all that energy back anyway, but you get what I'm saying! Ah, shit! Fuck! Yo, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that hammer drop. I wasn't ready for that one bit. I was like calm and collected. I was pressing my buttons. I was gonna do the right thing. Anyway, is there another character that has like the game states? I guess you could say Abathur. Like he has the, he has the, you know, walking around, putting mines on things, and then the top hat gameplay. But I don't think that really counts. Murky gives significantly less XP when he dies, but it's always the same game state. Rexar gives less XP when Misha dies. Uh-oh. 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 We're throwing a little bit. We're throwing a little bit. I'm going to be up in 12 seconds. We might be able to defend this. Hopefully these don't die. Don't die. Stay away from Garrosh. Get away from Garrosh. No, 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 no. Oh, I think we just lost. If they push. If they push, we just lost. Okay. All right, let's try to save this. We need energy. We have none for our mech. Let's push her back into the tower. Oh, I need to make sure I don't get pulled. Yeah, take me out of this fucking mech. Come on, come on, hit me. Hit me. Yes. Ha ha ha, sucker chump. This is exactly what I wanted. Ouch, holy fuck. Ah. Ouch. Who goes W build on Ragnaros? Tim, what are you doing? Stop telling people to play the game like you, Tim. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't paying attention. Looks like the laser from Artanis is going to be placed on Ana, forcing her back momentarily. We staggered our deaths a lot, though, in this game. Luckily, they're not actually pushing in on the core just yet. That being said, all of our keeps are down. now, which means we have catapult pressure in every lane. So this is looking like a little bit of a dire situation to be in. The objective is not coming up yet, but the enemy team is ahead of us on the objective slightly. It's very likely that both teams can get a plant very, very early on. I think what we need to try to do is just group, get a pick, and then once we have advantage, yeah, we can pressure core. We could even just walk right up to their core. Or we could fight here. Like, we have advantage. They're on our side of the map. We can be and get back to these fights very quickly. We should try to be aggressive here. That being said, Artanis is just kind of wobbling back and forth. I guess they weren't doing the camp, which is surprising. Oh, the interrupt on Ragnaros was huge. Let's try to get in here if we can. Uh-oh, we're a sleep team. We're a sleep team. All right. Let's get in here. Try to keep our Ragnaros, this Ragnaros off of our Morales. Looks like we're doing an okay job of that. She's going to be okay. Tassadar in a bit of a weird spot over there, however. Artanis being pulled in yet again. We'll drop our nuke right there. Get back in our mech. There we go. All right, I'm trying to focus on. I'm trying to do my job. Dealing damage to the back line. We are put to sleep, unfortunately. Artanis is dead for the friendly team. Oh my god, please. Oh my god, please. Get back in! Yes! We're losing our core, though. We're losing our core. Oh no, we're gonna lose the game. Oh no, we're gonna lose the game. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Alright, let's kill Nazeebo. Good ice block, good ice block. I can fire my ult off again in just a second. Alright, we're back in. Oh, close game. We totally threw it though. 100% threw it. Anyways, that's D.Va. Like I said, she came out. Her numbers were a little overscaled. They nerfed him a little bit. A lot of people were worried about her having too much movement speed. So the fact that she could shoot while she's in the mech and chase you down, people thought it was going to be like a tanky tracer chasing after you all the time. But while she's in the mech, she does have that reduced movement speed by like 20% or something. So most characters could just walk away from her if she's in the mech. And the mech doesn't deal much damage. So most of those like initial fears when she was being announced were completely, you know, just shrugged off. It was no big deal. Very interesting character to play. I just feel like maybe there's a different talent I can try that would make it really sink in for me. I wish I had more to talk about her development cycle. But like I said, she hasn't changed much. The talents I used in today's video, if you want to play along at home, we went for Hit the Nitrous, Bring It On, then Coming Through. I hate nuclear option, but apparently some people like it. Big Shot because it gives you way more control over your gameplay and more poke damage than Bunny Hop does. Even though I think Bunny Hop's okay, it just pales in comparison to Big Shot. Then we went for Emergency Shielding into GG, well played. And then, last but not least, Pew, Pew, Pew. When D.Va is played by a competent player, she is really exciting to watch. Hopefully, I gave you at least a peek into that potential today. Like I said, I've lost every game I've played with her since I picked her back up. But I only played like 2 games with her while she was on the live servers, so she just passed level 5. So there's definitely a learning curve there, but I think I'm on the right track to understanding how the character works. Up next, we are going to be taking a look at ETC. He used to be the king of kings as far as tanks went, and they tried to make him a little bit more specialized recently with a rework, so he has fallen from grace just a little bit, but he's on the upswing since other tanks were nerfed. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.